Hello, and I am pleased to have the opportunity to speak with the winners of the second edition of the Piazza Grande Religion Journalism Award. The award was initiated 4 years ago, and there was a break due to pandemic, but now we are back, and I'm happy because of it. The award is established and organized by the International Association for Religion Journalists and the Foundation for Religious Science since John 23rd. There is a title is in Italian, but I cannot pronounce it, so I will stick to the English. Its purpose is to highlight journalism's excellence in this very important field. But you can find all the relevant information on the website of the International Association for Religion Journalists. Today, I talk with Brigitte Jünger. She's awarded third place in the competition for the story she reported. And it's so Maronites in Israel, displaced Christians fight for their village. So hi.
Hi, Jelena.
It's 3 minutes still. Good morning. So good morning. And I would like, could you present yourself briefly? What are you doing, and whatever you think it's important.
Okay. First of all, thanks again to be awarded for the third prize and the possibility to talk to you now. I do radio reports for various radio stations in Germany as a freelancer, and I write books for children and young people. And I have been doing this for about 30 years. So I can't imagine to live without writing. That's the main fact of my life. I studied German language and literature, art history, and psychology. And first of all, I did scientific and literary writing. That was the beginning. And I started with radio work in 1998. And at first, I had a whole range of topics: music, social issues like poverty, migration, German history. But also in the beginning, I had religious topics. In Germany, it is like that. All radio stations have programs on the subject of religion, or better to say, religions. It's always about all varieties of religion and all areas in which religions are active. So that is very special and very interesting. So for myself, topics from this area have always been part of my interest and my work. And what fascinates me about it is that religion plays a role in so many areas of society. Socially, artistically, historically, politically. There is practically no area in which religion is not active. And at the radio station in my hometown in Cologne, where I'm living, that's WDR, Westdeutscher Rundfunk. For many years, there was even a religion program for children. And that was very exciting to work for, because when you explain something for children, you have at first to have clarified the topics for your own. Mm-hmm. And even more when you didn't study theology like me. So all these experiences with religious topics then developed further with my stays in Israel. I have been going there regularly once or twice a year since 2011 and lived there permanently in 2017, some months, and from 2018 until 2020 in Jerusalem. And there you are to speak at the core of all religions and the religiosity of so many different people who either live in the country or come there as pilgrims. So from the very beginning, I have also journalistically processed what I encountered there and made many radio reports about different topics. The special thing about Israel and especially Jerusalem is that so many small religious communities can be found there in such a small area and are visibly experienced in everyday life. All of them bring a very long history with them. which manifests itself in the people and the culture, and that is really amazing. Yeah.
I just, it's extremely interesting what you're talking about, including your biography and that. And I think that you just mentioned some so important points in journalism work. One is that broad education you have. Second is to know the context. And third is to know, to explain that, as you mentioned, with, speaking with, explaining to the kids in a way, because you now, then you really have to explain to yourself and then to others, not to use some kind of complicated words to mask you maybe.
Yeah, and especially in radio work, it is very, very important to be understandable. Yeah, to speak in words everyone can understand. The complicatedest things you have to explain in very easy words, and for that, working for children was a very good school.
Yes, yes. And then we are coming to your work that was awarded about Maronites in Israel. How it went. So you used to live in Israel and you were probably very, familiar with the situation. And now you can tell how why you wanted to report on it and how the very process went.
Yeah, as always, one thing leads to another. During an interview about a women's group that works for peace in Israel, it's called Women Wage Peace, I met a group of women who lives in Israel, and one of them in Kibbutz Bar'am, that is close to the Lebanese border in northern Israel. And we became friends, and I visited her. And there I learned about the history of Bar'am, Bir'am. The village has two names. The village where the people were expelled is called Bir'am, and the kibbutz now is called Bar'am. It's very close. And there I learned about the history of these villages and the expulsion of the Maronites from there in 1948. And from another context, I knew someone who is a Maronite and whose parents and relatives are from Bir'am. He and his family, they invited me to come to the prayers on a Saturday, and I was happy to join them and to experience their special way of prayers. And I got to know some people who are very committed to allowing the Maronites to return to the village, which has since been destroyed. That's how the story came about. And then all the question arrived. First of all, it is interesting, Maronites. Who are they anyway? This is again one of the Christian communities that we hardly know. In this particular case, you can see very well the tension between different social groups in Israel. The question is always in Israel, who owns what piece of land? What arguments are used to justify expulsion? What narratives are used for this? What kinds of justice are there? You wouldn't think it is possible, but in Israel, there are actually different kinds of justice. My job is not to judge that, but just to report about it. And I found it particularly exciting to see how the political positions of the Maronites have led to different self-definitions. Some say we are Israeli citizens and as Christians, a religious minority. We have nothing to do with the Muslim Palestinians. Others say we are Palestinians first and foremost, and cannot be separated from our Muslim brothers. This is really very, very interesting and exciting.
And it's so, I think that the part of the good journalism work is to catch all that nuances or that complexities. That is for me, real journalism.
Yeah, that you go there, meet the people, listen to what they have to say and what are the different positions are.
And I would like to ask you then, what do you think, what is the most important when you report about minorities, no matter where they are? Are they minorities, religion or other minorities in Germany or in Israel? What would be your advice to journalists? And
yeah, the first advice is listen carefully and meet very different people, because that's my experience, especially in Israel. There are so many different minorities that are not in the focus of anyone, not in the country and not outside. And it's, I think, our obligation as journalists to listen to them and to bring their voices to be heard at other places. Though, so because the world, it's there are so many pieces that makes all in one the world, and yeah, that's our duty to put them in the focus.
yeah, in the picture.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much, and congratulations
That's all.
more.